Imagine this. You just bought acres of your dream homestead with the love of your life to start a new life together. But after settling in, you notice something out in the field. It's dark outside, but you can't make out the figure. It looks like a wolf, but it's bigger. And it has this horrible rotting stench. Why does it smell rotten? It's stalking the animals on your property. And then it hurls itself at a baby cow. You grab a rifle and you shoot it, but the creature just stands there staring at you with its glowing red eyes. It doesn't hurt. You shoot it again, but it does no good. It remembers your face, and then it runs off into the woods. Terry and Gwen Sherman bought a 480-acre ranch in 1994 in southeast Utah. They wanted to start a peaceful life together, but it was going to be anything but that. In the days that followed, Terry and Gwen would try to forget what they witnessed that night and tend to the chores on their property. Gwen went out one night, and as she was coming home, she noticed a strange light in the sky following her home. She thought it was a plane, but it was moving in ways that didn't seem possible. She was just trying to make sense of it. What could it be? The next day, when Terry was out in the field with his dogs, he heard a strange voice. Terry couldn't make out what this voice was saying, or if it even came from a human being. And the voice was coming 25 feet right above him. Terry looked up, but he couldn't see anything in the sky or anything around him. The dogs were barking madly, and they got too scared and ran off. The Sherman family claimed to have seen 3 types of UFOs on the ranch. One was a small box-like craft with white light. The other one was 40 feet long, and one particular one was the size of 3 football fields. And one of these crafts emitted a strange red light. To make matters more unsettling, the Sherman family walked out onto the field to see 3 crop circles, 8 feet in diameter, 30 feet apart. The family couldn't make sense of what was going on. They were trying to live their life during these strange occurrences. But one day, Terry was getting ready to do some work on the field and noticed that 3 of their cows were lying dead, mutilated. It had been the creature with the glowing red eyes that did this. There was no trace of blood, no signs of prints, and there was a faint chemical odor coming from the cows. And in the winter, 4 of their cows went missing without a trace. Terry had followed the cows' footprints, but then they just stopped. Terry even mentioned that there were a lot of cattle mutilations in the area that weren't reported. Authorities were called, but nothing was ever done. One Utah resident that was near the ranch claimed that their 16-year-old daughter believed that she was abducted by something. Another Utah resident close to the area was leaving his neighbor's house one morning when he saw a massive oval-shaped object hovering right above the driveway. From the little holes in the object, he saw eyes looking right back at him. He claimed that he received telepathic messages from these beings inside this object, asking him if he'd like to go with them. But he remembers thinking, I have a family, I have a life here. He didn't say anything to them out loud, but they understood. He received another telepathic message saying that it was okay, and then the object went up into the sky, flew over the mountains, and then disappeared. These occurrences were becoming too much for the Sherman family, and so 2 years later, they sold it, and they moved to a smaller ranch. They sold it to Robert Bigelow, a billionaire who was very interested in paranormal research. He believed that the Shermans were telling the truth. Bigelow even employed Sherman to maintain the property and made him sign a non-disclosure agreement. On one particular day, Bigelow's research team claims to have seen a humanoid out in the field, staring at them. They say that the creature was propped up on a tree spying on them to see what they were doing, and the creature had unblinking yellow eyes. But it wasn't documented. In 2016, Bigelow sold the ranch to Brandon Fugal, who is a real estate tycoon. Fugal said that he bought the ranch because he wanted to get to the bottom of it. Is it true? Is there paranormal activity on the ranch? He wanted to do his own research. Fugal said that he was a skeptic. He wanted to prove people wrong, that there was nothing happening, until one day he witnessed something strange. On one October day, Fugal claims to have witnessed his first UFO sighting. It was broad daylight, and he had multiple witnesses at his side. At that very moment, Electronic equipment used to conduct research started to malfunction, so nothing was recorded. And when people visited the ranch, Fugal said that they experienced weird medical episodes. The Skinwalker Ranch is the most scientifically studied paranormal spot, but there's very little data to show that anything is even going on. According to Navajo culture, skinwalkers are beings that can change their shape or take possessions of animals or people. It's believed that skinwalkers were once healers that were corrupted by their own power and turned to evil. It's also said that breaking tribal taboos could cause anyone to become a skinwalker. To make sense of what is going on at the Skinwalker Ranch, there are multiple theories floating around. One being that the land was cursed after the Ute people mistreated the Navajo, that the land is tarnished for eternity. Another theory is that everyone that has witnessed a paranormal occurrence was just going through a shared psychosis, which is a sharing of delusion if the belief in the delusion is strong enough. The ranch is monitored by armed security 24/7, and it continues to be a research site. There have been documentaries that have come out to try to explain what's going on, but again, there's little evidence. There's drama, but nothing concrete. There are Reddit theories out there saying, what if it's not aliens or portals or anything paranormal? What if the land holds something valuable? That it's a diversion to keep people entertained, but far from the truth. Some say it's research being done on cattle, which would explain the cattle mutilations. Despite the publicity, I don't think we'll really know what's going on with the ranch. Do you believe that the land is cursed? Do you believe that these are just paranormal activities that can't be explained? Let me know in the comments. Research is still being done, so you never know. Something may come up. But until then, I think this is going to be one mystery that keeps building up on itself. If you like chilling stories with a bit of strange, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one with more.